Dokkan is a very intensive game when it comes to farming resources and being able to power up your characters in efficient manners to the point where you don't need to stop and go do these things manually when you pull new characters, right? I think that's one of the best things about the game. Aside from farming Dokkan Awakening medals, if you are in the endgame portion or you've been grinding responsibly, most of the time you're going to have a lot of the key items that you need in order to power up your characters. So, in this video, what I'm going to be doing is going over all of the main essential resources within the game and how to farm them, where to farm them, and all of that fun stuff, right? So some of these are going to be a little easier to explain than others, but by the end of the video, I hope that you guys all have a clear understanding of what you should be focusing your sort of free time on the game on, the things that you need to be focusing on to farm, and all of that fun stuff. So if you guys do find yourself enjoying today's video, don't forget to leave a like before you go and subscribe for more Dokkan guides in the future. That is the main bread and butter of this channel, helping you guys get better at the game and know exactly what you need to do in Dokkan. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the first resource. First and foremost, we have the most important resource in all of Dokkan, and that is going to be Dragon Stones. How are we going to be farming these? It's quite a simple process. Really, the easiest way I could tell you to kind of be as blunt as possible is really it's going to coming down to just playing the game. But within that, I'm going to kind of give you the streamlined process that you should be doing in order to farm these up efficiently. Now, when you reach endgame and you played all of the events, it's not going to be very easy, right? That's kind of just the way that the game is intended to be played, where you grind everything out, you summon for the characters you want, and then you're kind of in, unless you're spending money, which I don't recommend you do, you are sort of going to be in a loop of just kind of doing the content when it comes out. So when it comes to Dragon Stones, the first thing I want you guys to do is play the quest mode. This is a very easy process, and just kind of the quick hack here in case you guys don't know. Always make sure you're playing it on the hardest difficulty. The quest mode is a very easy difficulty sort of setup, so all you have to do is play it on Z hard, and you're going to get credit for clearing all 3 of the stages at once. So this is a very good quality of life change if you're somebody who played maybe 5 to 6 years ago. You will remember having to play all of these stages individually, so now the process is much more streamlined. Go through and play all of the quest mode, and this is going to be a very easy way for you to get up on some stones. Now, moving on to the next easy way to get stones, we are going to go over to our handy dandy challenge tab, and we are going to be playing mainly 2 events. You guys can see I'm a little bit behind on content over on the global side of things. Should probably do that on a live stream, huh? But if we go over here, there's going to be 2 main events that I want you to be focusing on for the purpose of obtaining easy and plentiful Dragonstone quantities. Now, this is going to be, first and foremost, if I can get down there, the Dokkan event Boss Rush. You guys can see here, if you press the mission, oh wow, look at that, right? 35 stones for clearing a lot of these, but it's going to be a little bit smaller at the bottom here. There is going to be a couple 20s, a 10, a 5, but really once you get out, I believe after like the first 5, it's going to be 35 every time. All this is playing Dokkan events in succession on one event, and it's going to be very easy ways for you to get stones. You really don't need to be paying attention too much if you have a good team, really just kind of clicking the orbs and getting through it. So this is going to be a very easy way for you to get Dragon Stones. And then the last 2 methods that I want to talk about that I think are significant enough to really get into, because I don't need to explain difficult content, is going to be Infinite Dragon Ball History. Now, I believe Infinite Dragon Ball History is at the top right now because it just got a new stage. Yes, right here, you guys can see there are stages that you could do. Again, your boy's a little bit behind right now on this stuff because I play JP, but all you want to do is go through and complete these stages to the best of your ability. If you can't clear all of them right now, that's not a big deal. You can work on your teams and get better in the future. So don't worry about clearing all of these and doing all of the missions, because the missions are going to be for specific categories, but at least try and clear them to the best of your abilities. Now, the last and most plentiful way to get stones is going to be Extreme Z battles. Go through all of these with a boost team if you can, and just clear them to the furthest of your abilities. This is going to be the best ways to get Dragon Stones in a quick amount of time. Otherwise, it really is just playing the games, going through all of these events, and you'll be good to go. So, Dragon Stones, what makes the world go round, that's how you farm. Next up is always something I forget when I make videos like this, and this is going to be Hidden Potential Orbs. These are very important items in order to further power up your characters, right? You guys might remember from doing the version Z missions at the beginning of the game, or the beginner missions, they have you power up your characters with Hidden Potential, right? So you go over to the Hidden Potential tab, we'll just choose a random character, I'll scroll down, right? Caulifla, sure. So what you would do is you press the Activate All button, and then you could go ahead and max out their Hidden Potential with dupes and stuff like that. That's not this video, but orbs are very important because this is going to be the bulk of the power in a character outside of the passive system, right? This is going to be increasing their HP, their attack, their defense, and it's also going to be giving you access to nodes like additional attacks, critical hits, evasion, right? typed defensive damage reduction, healing per orb, right? All of that stuff is in this section. So you want to make sure that you are doing it for your main characters, right? Farming them up as efficiently as possible and getting the biggest buff possible for them to be, just to kind of keep it simple, to make them as good as they possibly can be. So the best way to do this is going to be a once a day event here. It can be twice if your power level is over 530,000, but it's going to just be the hidden potential event. You go in here, you choose the path that you need. There's a left, middle, right, and it's going to be varying on what potential orbs you have. Unless they've updated this, because I always kind of mess this one up. So if we just go in here, I can do a quick example run. This will only take like 30 seconds. You guys can see there are going to be 3 separate paths. So I believe it goes small, medium, large from left to right. And you could just do this on auto and get the medium, but you are also going to be getting all 3 types from just clearing this really quickly and fighting the enemies on the stage here. So we have Goku, Mr. Popo, and Kami. And then we are going to take these guys out and we are going to be getting hidden potential orbs. Now, every day of the week, this is going to be rotating depending on typing. So right now, all you really need to know is that it's going to be AGL, and then it's going to be a different type tomorrow, and then it's going to be a different type on Wednesday. I'm recording this on a Monday, and then it's going to be a different type on a Thursday. So when we get to the weekend, you're going to have access to all of them, and this is just how you're going to be able to manually grind your orbs, right? There's going to be another way to do this, and it's going to tie back into another one, so we're going to be revisiting one of the repeat offenders on here in a moment. But you guys can see I got a bonus right there for extra orbs, and we got all the typing. So I'm going to let this go on auto, and we're going to be grabbing medium, so that is one way that you could do it. But if you're missing large, you want to go to the right. If you're missing small, you want to go to the left. So a very simple thing that you can do to farm up hidden potential orbs, this is going to be one of them. Now, the next way that we could manually farm up our hidden potential orbs in a very similar way to what we talked about earlier, again, is going to be the Extreme Z battles. These are just such an important event in the game, and this is not the last time that we are going to be talking about these in specific. So the Extreme Z battles, you just go through these and you're going to be getting the hidden potential orbs of the character, the typing of the character that is easy-aing. So in an example of LR UI Goku, you're going to get STR orbs. For the Broly Trio, they are a physical character, you're going to get physical orbs. So you kind of get the idea, right? So this is going to be a very good way for all players to get hidden potential orbs, and this is going to help you in your journey to getting as many as possible. Another way that you can get extra hidden potential orbs is going to be via the treasure section here in the Baba shop. So sometimes you'll be able to buy them with trade points. We'll be talking about that in a little bit. And then you can also go over to the treasure section. Now, the big one for this one, and just overall kind of in my experience playing this game, is going to be your battlefield currency. Now, you want to be careful using your battlefield currency on those because there are going to be LRs that you can get with that battlefield currency. So just keep that in mind when you are playing this, that you don't need to waste all of it, but if you are like in a pinch, you're like, okay, I just need some medium, 8,000 battlefield currency isn't going to set you back for years, so just keep that in mind. But overall, I think that the game provides enough ways for you in order to I can't talk. The game provides enough ways for you to be able to farm up hidden potential orbs to the point where you don't need to be going into these exchanges, but if you are in a pinch, again, you can do that. So look through these and then see where you can potentially get them. If I do every single one of this video, it's going to go on for too long, but the battlefield memories is going to be one of the better ways to do so. But overall, I think hidden potential orbs, you should be good if you just do the Extreme Z battles. That's always been the best way that I've found to do it, especially when starting new accounts like I did with Zero the Hero. Next up on the list of important resources you need to be farming in Dokkan is going to be the Kais. Now, I'm sure most of you know what Kais are at this point. If you don't, I'll basically speedrun this for you, right? What you want to do is grab these in order to level up the super attack levels on your characters. So if we choose any random character that I don't have maxed out, this Piccolo, for example, we go to the growth tab, we hit training, we go over here, and now you can see we can use these items to level up the super attack level on these characters. You can see it says Super ATK LV, super attack level, right? So this is going to be a very easy way for you to do so, and there's going to be kind of a multi-layered sort of bit to what you need to do here. So with Kais, you want to use these on unique characters that do not have a same name counterpart. Now, you might be wondering, who might that be? Well, Beast Gohan, this is a very good example, right? There's not going to be a farmable Beast Gohan that you can just get from any exchange currency, but somebody like Base Goku, somebody like Bardock, somebody like Ultimate Gohan, somebody like Frieza, right? These are all going to be characters that you can use these Kais to level up. So you don't need to use Kais to level up the super attack. Now, when it comes to LRs to get into the 20, that's a different story. But the best way to get these, you guessed it, the Extreme Z battles. These are going to be giving you 5 Kais because it's going to be designed for getting the character to that extra super attack level. But the caveat here, especially if you're a new player, is there's a good chance that you don't have every single character that's ever easy A'd within the game, right? This is just not a realistic kind of turnout for somebody that started playing last month. So these are going to kind of stockpile a bit for you to the point where you're going to be more than comfortable with the amount of Kais that you have. You guys can see here, I have a decent bit, right? Like almost 100 of every typing, 200 of the Elder Kais, and then the Grand Kais are like well over 300. So this is kind of one of those examples where doing Extreme Z battles is going to be able to get you a ton of these. Now, other the ways that we can get Elder Kais going to be these Baba Shop exchanges. We talked about that recently. And then a lot of them are going to be coming from specific missions that you do within the game. You go over to this events tab, you can look through them and see potentially where you can get Kais. They will be popping up, right? With this one, it's a little bit tricky because it's just a lot to scroll through, but I promise you they are in here, right? It's just a bit hard to find for some reason, but there's an example right there. You can get Grand Kais from, or Dozing Kais from here, and it's just really, this is where you're going to be able to find stuff like that. So Elder Kais and Grand Kais and stuff like that, very important items. You want to make sure you're farming these, and that is how you do it. Next up on my list, and honestly, probably the last thing that you guys are going to need to know how to do, is going to be Zenny, because this is going to exchange into other items. Now, Zenny, right? This is a very important resource, as this is going to help you power up your characters. You're going to be noticing that Extreme Z Awakenings for characters are very expensive, and the way that you mainly want to be getting this is via Hercule statues, right? These are going to be the most plentiful source of Zenny in the game, but what we'll do is quickly kind of go over a few events, right? If you go over to the Growth tab, there is going to be a Big Bucks Hercule challenge in here. If we could just find it, the Big Bucks Hercule challenge, this is going to be a good way for you to manually get some Zenny. You don't need to grind that all day. It's just something nice where if you just want to directly target Zenny, that will be good for you. Playing your daily Roshi event, aka the Study Hard, Play Hard Turtle Schools Intensive Training. We call it the Roshi event. This is going to be very good for you as well. So with this, it's just being able to get Zenny is going to be helpful. And yet again, we are back here at the Extreme Z Battle tab. Now, this one is going to be a little bit different from the other ones that we've already talked about. When it comes to farming up the Extreme Z battles, right, like this, there's just a different way that you want to do it. So you might be thinking, like, how do I want to go about progressing this? How can I get Zenny from this? Well, I'm glad that you asked, because this is just going to be a sort of, I'm trying to scroll down to it. The best way to do this is you want to go past the maximum level of an easy A. So you guys can kind of see here with all these TURs and stuff like that. The best way to do so is going to just finding one that works the best for you. Them adding all of these back in here, like really what you want to just do is go to the bottom. The one that I recommend here, like specifically, is going to be the Fierce Battle Saga. So if we look at the Fierce Battle Saga, the boosted team is going to be the Ginyu Force. So if we go in here, I tried something a little bit different with my last run where I was using like super bosses and a few like with Gogeta, right? But what you really want to do is use the Ginyu Force team, because that is just the boosted one. They give it out for free, and grinding this one to a super high level is going to be giving you a Platinum Hercule statue for every run that you do. So that's going to be 1.5 million Zenny. It's just a very easy way for you to farm that up. So then you want to go over, after you've acquired all of those, is go over here and just start selling these. I hit the max on this, and that was 435 million Zenny right there. And this does cap at about 2 billion right before that, so just keep that in mind. But what's important about farming Zenny is this is going to help you stay on top of items like training items. You can buy these with Zenny, right? This is going to be turtle shells and stuff like that. These are just very good items that can help you progress your characters. Now, specifically where I think these are going to be the most helpful is for getting your awakening medals, right? One thing that used to be a really big problem, especially back in the day, were these bad boys right here, Gregory's. But guess what? Now there's just no limit on them. You can just buy all these up and max it out, right? As many as you need to do, you can do that in the game now. So farming up training items, farming up these stuff right here, like awakening medals, Zenny is going to be your best bet, and just playing an Extreme Z battle as high as you can go is going to be the best way to do that. I recommend going back to some of the older ones, building a team that works for it, and then sort of going from there. So that is my guide for all of the important items that you need to be farming up. Mainly focusing on that. Anything that you need to look at in terms of resources and stuff, always go here to the Giru's guide. This is mainly going to be for characters, but again, it can potentially help you out. So I hope you guys did enjoy this one. Let me know down below what you think. Did I miss any items? And if I did, I can go ahead and give you a guide for those down below as well. We can always make separate episodes for this. It's not like a one-time thing, but this should be a good one-stop shop for you to be able to farm up all of the important items. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, don't forget to leave a like before you go. Subscribe if you are new, so that way you don't miss out on any of the Dokkan content that I post in the future. Thank you guys for watching. As always, see you in the next one.